Shalom. I say Kalal Aliyam La, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Makakodash, the honors of the apostles of great millstone. Shalom to the Akim pushing this word in sincerity and truth. To the elect of the nation of Israel, much peace and peace, love and blessings. And shalom to you, Akim and Akwath out there, women and men, women and children that believe and call upon the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai in sincerity. Shalom to you as well. Hopefully this lesson will be edifying. Alright, and it comes from an article where basically just gonna read through some of these talking points as it concerns the MOTB, and hopefully we can get some edification out of it. I did not read through the entire article, so we're just gonna do that right now. I just skimmed over a few points. All right, now so the article is from jackrighteous.com, by Gary Whitaker, written posted or updated February 27th 2025. All right, and just for edification purpose, I'm gonna try to not say the mark of we're just gonna try to keep it at MOTB or the mark. Okay. Alright, so let's start at the introduction. Alright, it says the mark and the future of control. Alright, so Revelation 13 and 16 to 18 warns of a time when no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark. The mark has been interpreted in many ways throughout history, but today we are seeing a world where digital ID systems, AI-driven financial control, and cashless economies could create an environment where compliance is no longer optional. And yes, that's the first point. It's a very strong point. We're headed into a space where compliance is not gonna be optional at some point in time. Right now, compliance is optional, because for example in Jamaica we have what is called a CBDC, right? Central Bank Digital Currency, which is basically a digital version of the Jamaican dollar. It is legal tender, meaning you can use it to buy and sell legally, right? It should be accepted just as how the physical Jamaican dollar is accepted, right? It's just that some business places have not adapted to that technology as yet. But there are, if you check Link, which is the official app that the CBDC runs through, right? That app will give you a list of merchants that currently support or accept the CBDC. And by the way, our CBDC is called Jamdex. Right, so there are some people that actually use Jamdex or use Link, as they would have called it out here, to make payments and accept payments and send money to and from. Yes, as I say, it's legal tender. So once you have the system, you can't tell somebody, say, oh, you don't want that, right? Or you're not accepting Link. Zine. Right. And Jamaica was one of the first countries in the world, first in the Caribbean, one of first in the world to make CBDC, a central bank digital currency, a legal tender. Right, as I said before, it can be used to do any type of transactions in the country, pay bills, buy and sell goods, etc. Alright. So yeah, going back to the point in the article where it says compliance might no longer be optional, right? Right now, right, complying to the Jamdex or using Link, it's optional, because as I said, not everyone has adopted the technology as yet. All right, it's not become mandatory. It's not widely accessible as yet. So at this time, it is optional. You can still use your cash. However, there's gonna come a time where only digital payments will be accepted, which in turn means that compliance is no longer optional. You don't have any other option but to use what is set. Alright, so let's continue the article. It says, but how would such a system come into being if, how would such a system come into being? Would it be enforced, or would people willingly embrace it for convenience, security, and access to society? This article explores how Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, Pope Francis, and economic enforcers are shaping the infrastructure for what could be the mark of the MOTB system. Alright, so presumption 1. A cashless society is the foundation for economic control. Revelation 13 and 16 to 17 says, no one may buy or sell without it. The Bible states that the mark is required for all economic transactions. In today's world, the push for cashless payments, digital currency, and AI-driven financial oversight means that access to the economy is increasingly restricted to those who comply with centralized control mechanisms. Alright? There we go. It says the rise of central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Governments around the world are developing CBDCs which allow for programmable money that can be tracked, restricted, and even revoked. Alright, and just as I said before, I give an example with Jamaica's version of the CBDC being the Jamdex, right? We have Nigeria as well. I always mix up the Nigeria situation with South Africa. But yeah, Nigeria has adopted their own CBDC as well. In fact, there was an issue where they renewed their banknotes, right, and removed the old banknotes from circulation, and that caused a panic because they didn't print enough of the new banknotes. So what their solution was basically using a digital system to basically go work hand in hand with the minimal cash, for lack of a better term, right? The minimal amount of the minimal amount of cash that was in circulation, right? So they had to use as a digital platform in order to offset that, right? So yeah, again, it says governments around the world are developing CBDCs which allow for programmable money that can be tracked, restricted, and even revoked. And yes, these digital currencies being centralized means that someone has control of it. No, they're not telling you this, alright? They're not letting it be known clearly or outright. Say, oh, we have control of these currencies, and if you're not complying by certain things, then you can be restricted. You can be limited to the amount of money that you are able to legally own or have. You can be restricted from spending your money on certain things in certain places with certain people, sending, like, it is programmable money, or it's controllable, all right? It's malleable. So they have the power over what happens with your money, basically. See, it says, unlike decentralized cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, CBDCs give central authorities total control over spending habits. So in this case, the Bank of Jamaica would have control over Jamdex, which is our digital currency in Jamaica. All right. It says Peter Thiel's role in financial tracking. Palantir Technologies, a company funded by Thiel, has developed AI-driven financial tracking systems used by banks and governments to monitor transactions and detect non-compliance. Predictive policing in finance could lead to an era where people are flagged for economic misconduct and denied access to funds. Alright, so another example out here in Jamaica, right, certain people that are doing illegal transactions, once it comes to a point where cash, like physical cash, is no longer accepted, these men will have to show accountability, in terms of where are you getting this money from, who is this person that they will have all the information, right? Them are gonna know who has sent the money, right? That person's record, your record, right? Them are gonna have all of your information, right? So it's gonna cause like a crackdown on certain crimes, which it is all planned, right? All of this is a trap, right? These are some of the selling points that pretty soon they're gonna start to come with in order to get people to join the bandwagon when it comes to these CBDCs, right? They're gonna use these little examples like, it can prevent fraud, it can stop fraud, certain illegal activities will no longer be able to take place. You can, guns for the gun trade or drug trade, all of them things, they're gonna come to an end. Yeah, these are the things that them are gonna push, right? Because it sounds like, hey, this thing is gonna impact the negative parts of our society, right, and make things better for us. However, on the flip side, it is going to put us, the regular people, in a state of prison, basically. Seeing where you do not have control over your own money, right? You have no privacy when it comes to what you do with your own money. It's all a trap, right? And not compare, but add that with the digital ID systems that they're coming with. You see me? It's the end game, yo. You see me? Alright, alright, let's go to presumption 2. It says AI, predictive governance, and digital IDs are required for control. Elon Musk's push for an ID-driven economy. Musk has hinted that X, formerly Twitter, will become a global financial hub, integrating payments, digital identity, and AI-driven financial verification. Starlink ensures that even remote areas are connected to a globally monitored system. Right, and this is why, well, it states it obviously. This is why you have things like Starlink, and why the governments are pushing for internet to go as far as possible, right? Even in rural areas right now, flow changed out